So this is gonna be the last video. So hopefully this is short because I've talked too goddamn much. Anyway, so I am in the season of applying for a whole bunch of things, and I'm trying to get myself organized. And I'm like, oh my god, I need to like do better with that, because not being organized really is a pain in the ass. Anyway, ended up, I have like a dump notebook. I don't have planners. I tend to not do well with planners at some point in the year. Like I'll start off good, and then eventually like I'll just fall off with it. So I'm trying to like write down the stuff that I have to do and then go from there. But I'm definitely in the application kind of mode, and I want to make sure that I'm putting myself out there. My personal goal as far as submissions is more or less like once or twice a month in terms of submitting to stuff. But the goal is just to be published once or twice this semester, right? Because you can submit to however much shit you want. You know, you may or may not get selected. So there's that. And then this semester, this year rather, I have a healthy amount of like actual like job or just volunteer or work opportunities that I'm applying for, in addition to being published. It's very important to me to be like published, but it's even more important to me to build my resume up, because my resume has had so many like twists and turns. I need to have a more consistent looking resume now, and so I want to do that. Essentially, I am kind of just like ready to become like a professional in one area. And I'm a very multidisciplinary kind of person. I still am gonna have like hella side quests, because why not? Why not? But I definitely want to have a more consistent like publishing kind of history type thing. So that's where I am. So for 2025, I have at least half a dozen like fellowships, scholarships, writing retreats, all of these things that I'm looking into. And then I'm also having these other things to apply to. I'm also looking into instructing, creating my own thing. So you guys already know, did do the writing kind of retreat thing that I wanted to do in December. And based on me being kind of like unwell, I may not do it before the semester starts. The semester for me starts at the end of January, so I may not even like do it now in January. I do kind of want to do it though in January. But yeah, there's also, so there's fellowships, there's actual like contests and stuff like that. There's about 2 or 3 chapbook contests that I'm looking into. There's about 3 to 5 retreats I'm looking into, and workshops. And so I feel like this year is just going to be very much about activity and movement, meeting new people, being in new environments and stuff like that. And, you know, a lot of people, because I'm kind of woo-woo, I'm an animist, but a lot of people are like, when it comes to the new year starts in the spring and you shouldn't be doing, you know, all this stuff. And it's like, look, choose your new year when you choose your new year. Your new year can start right motherfucking now, right? The decision to pivot or change can start right now. So for me, I don't really wait. I tend to be very focused in Capricorn season. I'm not a Capricorn. I'm a Cancer, so we're actually opposites. But I tend to be very focused in the wintertime because it's like it's like the energy of everybody dies because they're so focused on like, I don't want to say resting because I'm also focused on resting, but like people are very, especially if you live in a colder climate, they're very much like, oh, let's chill out. And it's like a lot of these fellowships and scholarships and stuff like that actually ends their deadlines like very early in the year. Like definitely the first half of the year, really the first like third, if not like quarter of the year, right? So a lot of these like things that y'all want to do, probably in the first half of the year. And so really this is the time to kind of, especially if you're on break, to kind of like be active to get those things set up, because I had to turn in some stuff for opportunities this year, the end of last year, and opportunities for next year are coming up this year, you know, up until the summer. And so I can't be like stagnant. Now, I don't want to like overload myself because I kind of feel that I can overload myself, but I definitely like the challenge of applying to more things. And somebody like recently got published in my program, and I kind of joke with people about this person. It's like they always are getting published, but they probably always write, or like they're very consistent. And I think if you're in an MFA program or just any like graduate program or just program in general, if you're not gonna be consistent about it, like why are you there? You know, especially if you're gonna do writing or art or something like that, like you need to be very consistent, because I'm pretty sure you have professional goals. And the worst thing, and I can tell you as someone who didn't have a plan in high school, I didn't have a plan in high school. I was like pushed more to be in a certain space. But as someone who didn't have a plan for college, as far as like what they wanted to do post college, and just like chose a major based on the lack of math, right? I was a history major. And really who wanted to like pursue writing the whole time, but was gonna start it off as a business major. Then I was an elementary ed, I was undeclared, I was this, I was that, and then settled on history. Having a plan and going forward with it matters. It does matter. I'm grateful for like becoming a massage therapist, pharmacy technician. I worked for the city that I live in. I've worked on the state level. And I've just had like a range of experiences. And so, yeah, like the one thing I will say is like the people who I think get farther ahead may not necessarily be the most brilliant. That's another thing that people need to like get out of. Like you don't necessarily have to be the most brilliant. I think that the people that win the most tend to be the ones that are more consistent and just like they don't fucking give up. Like they get knocked down, they get back up, and they keep getting back up. And they take the blues and they just like move forward with it. And so this is like my winter encouragement. If you feel like you've wanted to do something this winter and you aren't doing it, you need to ask yourself why. And sometimes like we're very fearful of success or what this acceleration means. And sometimes I get the feeling, you know, amongst certain peers, be quite vulnerable, that they don't necessarily, they like there's a sting of like, you're trying too hard or you're doing too much. And it's like, no, I'm doing what I need to do to leave this program feeling like I got my money's worth, right? I talk to people all the time with the program, and I'm like, the fact that people will go through the program and not submit anything, you know, to me is a personal problem. It may not be a personal problem for them, but why waste all that time not submitting? And then like, what are you going to do when you get out of here? Like, is this degree, you know, like I kind of question sometimes why people like are doing certain degrees. But if you're going to spend money, especially if you're paying out of pocket, you would best get some sort of accolades and stuff like that by the time you leave. Just for even like your self-esteem, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think the people, especially adults, we would like to attribute this to kids, but adults like to feel like they've done something with their lives. They like to feel like they've progressed and they've moved forward and stuff like that. So like, go and do that, progress and move forward. And you know, I'm just not one of those people that's just going to give up. And you know, I get the vibe sometimes, but yeah, the one person that like always gets like mentioned from like the director of the program, they seem like they're a lot more consistent than some of the other people in the program, and they're being rewarded for it, and that they are probably getting publications in places that they want, or places that they're just very interested in, and it's moving them forward to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And you can say what you want about people who are like consistent, that they, you know, you can say what you want, but it doesn't take their accolades away. And especially if you don't do anything, the more you focus on like what they're doing, and then you're just not doing anything, the deeper you're getting into your hole of doing nothingness. And I don't know, that's just my little thing. I just feel like if you're gonna go do something, you need to freaking like, you need to like put in effort. So over the winter break or whenever, put in effort. And I feel like you're going to, this is not a competition. It's not. Some of you guys are probably in competitive programs across the board of discipline, doesn't matter. But you'll probably progress faster once you start being consistent. Because once you get momentum, you tend to be like on a roll. Like you tend to be good, right? So get momentum going. You don't have to like exhaust yourself and burn yourself out, but get momentum going. And I feel like a lot of people will be a lot more confident in their abilities. Like I was talking like messages someone like recently who else applied to stuff, and I was like, your confidence is boosted. Your confidence is boosted when you like just apply to stuff, because like at least you got something out there. It may or may not get accepted, but at least you tried. Being the person that tries is better than being the person that criticizes and never did shit. I can tell you that. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. My throat is kind of done, so I'm just gonna like stop. And I guess these are the videos for this week. So be encouraged. Don't waste time. Take the opportunities that you need to take, and be honest with yourself about what you're trying to do and where you're trying to go, and be honest about whether or not you procrastinate. Be honest about whether or not you're scared. Be honest enough about whether or not you feel like you're going to be rejected or whatever. Be honest about how you feel about that. And then sometimes that's a psychological block that you need to work through. Anyway, that's enough. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.